Okay, so here we are connected to my Bybit exchange. Make sure that the crypto data and crypto SIM is not connected, otherwise you can get corruption of data. You only want one of these connected. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build a template, an order flow template from scratch. And I'm going to open up a default profile. It comes with ATAS, and the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this white glaring background, and I want to get rid of these lines. So I'll go up here to settings, and where it says background, I'll change the color to black. Okay, and I want to get rid of these grid lines, so I'll untick that and I'll untick that. Right, now what we've got is a default template that's virtually only got the graph on it. It's also got a volume profile on the left. So let's see how that was set up, because I am going to leave that. Okay, so what you do is you right click on it and then you left click on it. And here are the settings. So this is just the profile of volume. If I wanted the TPO on the TPO over the profile, I could put that there. But on this particular template, all I want is the profile of the volume, and I want the current month. I could put it on the right side if I want to, but we'll keep it on the left side. So the profile type is bid and ask, and I could extend these lines if I wanted to by just clicking here, but I don't want to clutter the chart too much. So then I've just set the colors for bid and ask, and we don't have the TPO, so nothing is set there. We are showing the point of control, and we are showing the value area low and the value area high. You'll see that here. So I'm holding down the shift key and I'm moving this down to compact the graph vertically. So on this particular thing, all I've got is the bid and ask, the value area high, the maximum level, and the value area low. And you can see we are trading outside of the value area at the moment. Okay, so let's start by seeing what indicators we already have here. You can either push Control I, or you can right click and click indicators, and you can see at the moment all we have is depth of market, and that's indicated over here on the right, where you can see the depth of market. So let's start by adding some daily lines. Okay, let's add a daily line and let's set it up. So the way to set it up is let's add that daily lines. Got to click add. Okay, so there's our daily lines. And what have we got now? We've got actually I want this to be the current day, and what we've got is the open, close, high and low. The open, the close, and the high and the low. I don't want these to be in such big red thick lines, so I'm going to change those to other colors now. Okay, so I've changed these colors. The open is going to be green, and the others I'm going to have dashed gray. You can see them over there. You can either leave the price on or off, or you can leave the text on and off. Once the chart becomes very cluttered, it might be worthwhile taking away the text, and you learn to know which colors are which. But for now, I'm going to leave it on. Okay, so let's add some more daily lines. And this I'm going to leave as last day. And again, I'm going to change these red colors, and when I've done that I'll get back to you. So here I've changed these colors to blue dashed and green for the open, and for now I've left the text and the price location on, but once it gets cluttered I might take those off. So I'm going to do exactly the same for the current week and the last week prices, and when I've done that I'll get back to you. Okay, so you can see the lines that I've drawn. I've drawn the current day, I've drawn the last day, I've drawn the current week, and I've drawn the last week. I haven't put all of the values in, but the purpose of this tutorial is not to show you how to trade, it's just show you just how to set up things. The next thing I'm going to put in is the daily high low, and as you can see here, the only one that I want to see is yesterday's median. You can see all these other things, but I've made them transparent so that they won't be visible. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is the VWAP, and it defaults to all these fills and horrible things. I'm going to make it as simple as possible, and then I will get back to you. Okay, so what I've done here for the daily VWAP is that I made this a thick yellow line, and I've got rid of all the standard deviations, of which there are many. You can do a 1, 2, 3 up and down, and you can fill it with various colors and blah blah blah. I just want the simple VWAP, and there it is, the yellow line. Okay, and I'm going to do that for the weekly VWAP as well. So I'm going to put in another VWAP. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it, and this one is going to be a weekly one, and you can see the default is with all these standard deviations and so on. So I'm going to spend some time getting rid of all of that stuff as well. So there's my weekly VWAP up here. I made it a dashed dot yellow line, and I have got rid of all the standard deviations and the autofills. Right, the next thing I added was the current price, bars true, and as you can see over here I wanted the time, and there's the color that I chose. I chose quite a big font size, size 14, and there you can see the time and the current price. So I've added the cumulative delta, the CVD, down here, and I have just changed the line color to yellow, and you can either have candles, bars, or line, and I'm going to leave it as a line. You can see with a line it's easier to see. There's a bearish divergence over here, higher, lower high, and there's a higher high here, so it's actually easier to see those with a line than it is with bars or the other methods. Okay, the next thing I'm adding is open interest, and I'll leave the only value on the axis over there. I'll leave it as candles. We want cumulative. We don't want it by bar, and we don't want session. We want cumulative delta. Okay, and show description means that when I go over here it'll show the actual open interest. The next thing I'm going to add is a cluster statistics, and I actually want that at the bottom, so we can change that in here. So I did that by pushing this down button until it got to the bottom. I want the ask color to be green, I want the bid color to be red, and the stats that I want there is delta over volume, session delta, and volume. You can have all sorts of other things, just trades count and height time, all sorts of other things. But I'm not going to do that. So let's say OK there. And OK, now we've got a candle chart over here. Let's have a look what it looks like when under clusters. Right, so there we've got our clusters, and we can set it to volume, we can set it to delta colored volume. There's millions of them here. You can set it to a volume histogram, you can set it to delta colored volume histogram, you can give the volumes in the trades, you can do how many trades were there, the delta colored trades, a digital histogram. Just go through all of these. I think what I prefer is a bid ask delta colored, so it gives you exactly the bids and the asks, and it gives you red and green as per the usual custom. You can also just have the delta, or you can have the volume versus the delta, or you can have delta profile. So there's virtually more options here than you can wish for. So now we've set up our template. Let's go and save it. Settings. So we go to settings, and we are going to click add, and we're going to give it a name. Let's call it new template. We'll just leave it as that. Okay, and that's it. We've now got new template listed in here. Yes, should be exactly the same because we've saved it. And there's our new template, and you can see the versatility of ATAS. I've just shown you a very basic setup for an order flow template, but you can do many things, and there's quite a long learning curve for ATAS, but it can do virtually everything that you need to do, and it's very malleable. Just two extra little tips. The labels for the open interest and the CVD are not showing here, even though I clicked in the template that they should show, and the reason is, let's go up to settings over here, that my indicator labels are black and so is the background. So let's make it white, and then it shows up over there. The other thing is you can have the numbers in the footprint bar down the bottom here in various formats, and sometimes if they've got long six-figure numbers, it's very hard to read. And how do you change that? Well, you go to indicators, you go to cluster statistics, and then you go down to here, show short values. See, if I click that off, then these numbers are very large over here. And you can also put how many numbers after the decimal point that you want to have. If you can, let's say you put 1, you'll see the difference over there. I'm going to leave it at 0. Okay. All right. Well, that's how you make an order flow template very quickly and very easily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.